Almost everyone is secretly afraid of being judged. Every day, people worry about how they look, how they sound, and what others might think about them. Even the smallest mistake can feel huge inside your mind, as if the whole world noticed it. Sometimes you replay embarrassing moments over and over again in your head. Something awkward you said, something weird you did, or a moment where you felt stupid. Even years later, your brain still remembers it clearly. But here's the strange part. Most people probably forgot that moment within minutes. While you were overthinking it for days, everyone else moved on with their own lives. The truth is, people are far too busy thinking about themselves. They are worried about their own problems, their own appearance, their own future, and their own insecurities. Most of the time, people are not analyzing your life the way you imagine. They are not studying your mistakes or watching your every move. They are simply trying to survive their own struggles. But your brain creates an illusion. It makes you feel like a giant spotlight is always shining directly on you, making every mistake feel bigger than it really is. Psychologists even have a name for this feeling. It's called the spotlight effect. This happens when we believe people notice us far more than they actually do. You walk into a room and suddenly feel nervous. You think everyone is looking at your clothes, your face, your body language, or the way you speak. But in reality, most people barely notice. They are distracted by their own thoughts, their phones, their stress, and their personal problems. And once you truly understand this truth, something inside you begins to change. You slowly start feeling lighter, calmer, and freer. Think about the last stranger you saw outside. Can you remember exactly what they looked like? Their shoes, hairstyle, or the way they walked? Probably not. Your brain ignored most of those details because they were never important to you. And that is exactly how strangers see you too. For years, many people stay trapped because of fear. Fear of looking stupid, fear of embarrassment, fear of failure, fear of rejection. They want to start a YouTube channel, learn a new skill, go to the gym, or express themselves honestly, but they stop themselves before even trying. And the reason is simple. They imagine everyone watching them, waiting to judge them the second they make a mistake. But most people are not watching you at all. They are too busy fighting battles inside their own minds. Think about this carefully. The people you are scared of are often just as insecure as you are. They also fear embarrassment and rejection. That's the ironic part of life. Everyone is afraid of being judged by people who are also afraid of being judged. And because of this fear, millions of people never become who they truly want to be. They stay quiet when they want to speak. They hide their talents. They avoid opportunities. And slowly, fear begins controlling their entire life. But imagine how powerful your life could become if you stopped needing everyone's approval. You would finally try new things without constantly worrying about failure. You would stop hiding your personality just to fit in. You would take more risks, meet more people, and create more opportunities for yourself. And even if you failed sometimes, it wouldn't destroy you because failure is temporary, but regret can last forever. Every successful person you admire has embarrassed themselves before. Every confident person has looked awkward, failed publicly, or made mistakes. But the difference is they kept going anyway. They understood that embarrassment is not the end of the world. Confidence is not about avoiding mistakes. Real confidence comes from surviving mistakes and realizing you are still okay afterward. The more you face uncomfortable situations, the less power fear has over you. At first, it feels terrifying. Your heart beats faster, your mind panics, and you imagine the worst possible outcome. But after surviving those moments again and again, your brain slowly realizes something important. Nothing terrible actually happened. People judged you for a few seconds, then went back to thinking about themselves. Life continued normally, and suddenly you feel freer than before. You stop wasting energy trying to appear perfect all the time. You begin speaking more honestly. You laugh more naturally. You stop pretending to be someone else. And for the first time in a long time, you feel like yourself again. Because freedom begins when you stop treating everyone's opinion like it controls your worth. No matter what you do in life, someone will always criticize you. Some people judge others simply because they are unhappy with themselves. So if criticism is unavoidable anyway, why waste your life hiding from it? Instead of fearing judgment, focus on building the life you actually want. Post the video you're scared to upload. Start the project you keep delaying. Speak your ideas out loud. Yes, some people might laugh. Some people might ignore you. But most people will forget within hours. And meanwhile, you will keep growing stronger, braver, and more confident. Every time you stop caring so much about opinions, you gain more control over your life. You stop being controlled by fear and start being guided by purpose. That's when life starts feeling exciting instead of stressful. You realize that nobody is truly watching you as closely as you imagined. And even when they do notice you, their opinions do not decide your future. The people who succeed in life are usually the ones willing to look foolish in the beginning. They understand that growth always looks awkward at first. Nobody starts perfect. So stop waiting until you feel fully confident. Confidence comes after action, not before it. The moment you stop fearing judgment, you unlock a completely different version of yourself. You become more creative, more expressive, and more willing to take chances. You stop wasting years trying to impress people who were never thinking about you that much anyway. And honestly, that realization is incredibly powerful. Because once you understand that nobody cares as much as you thought, you become free. Free to fail. Free to learn. Free to grow. Free to become the person you truly want to be. Your life changes the moment you stop living for other people's opinions. So the next time fear stops you from doing something important, remember this truth. Most people are too distracted by their own lives to spend much time judging yours. And even if some people judge you for a moment, life keeps moving forward. So take the risk. Speak your mind, chase your goals, and live more freely, because nobody cares as much as you think. And that is your superpower.